We feel very comfortable telling women that it's ultimately their job to pick a good man and a good partner for their children and for themselves, that all of the responsibility is on them. And if anything in the marriage is going wrong, or there are inequities that exist, or that they've fallen into gender norms that she's not comfortable with, ultimately that is her fault. But saying that to a woman who lives in a patriarchy under capitalism fails to acknowledge that society has failed us. This is not an individual failure of the woman or the man typically in these relationships. Men have been taught, both subliminally and also from the messaging that they receive every single day, that it is their job to prioritize money, that it is their job to prioritize their happiness and their success, that their time is valuable. And women are taught that it is our job to please those around us, to serve those around us. We should be martyrs for the cause, especially when it comes to our husband and our children. Women are taught that our time is not nearly as valuable as their time. And so when we fall into these gender norms, especially within the home, it can be very much due to societal pressure and conditioning and less about our own personal beliefs. I can tell you that I never thought I would fall into gender norms, and I did with my partner. But here's the thing, it is very easy to slip into these when there are no social safety nets. We do not have affordable, accessible childcare for families. We don't have universal paid leave for parents. Men don't get time off. Therefore, the bulk of the caretaking and domestic labor falls to women. We don't pay women fairly in the workforce, and therefore, if somebody has to leave to care for children, it falls on women more often than not. These are things that we exist within that are very, very difficult to break out of. And so within your home, these inequities can show up because we are working within the society and the system that created them. And so it is not an individual failure. I think the individual failure comes in when somebody highlights them and says, we need to change this, we need to improve this, I think this could be better, and that other person doesn't receive it. They choose to be defensive. They choose to put their heels in the ground and say, no, I'm not changing. That is a personal failure. But falling into these patterns, these norms, that is not a personal failure. This is what we were conditioned for. This is the society which we live in ultimately.